With the Rivals 2 beta on the horizon and the sequel coming sometime in 2024, all eyes are on the new sequel from Aether Studios to take the platform fighter world by storm. And that's not just seasoned Rivals veterans either. That's everyone from Smash old heads to folks eyeing Rivals as their very first fighting game.
But yeah, the game is super fun. Like, I haven't felt this way about like queuing next in a game since Melee.
And if you're anywhere in there, I want to give you a rundown on what's changed and what to watch out for. As a quick note, this was all from the pre-alpha build. Anything is subject to change from the final release. I would be really shocked if any major engine changes take place, but I wouldn't be surprised if any small changes take place either.
It feels pretty damn good.
That's why I was saying, it's hilarious to me when people are like, is it polished? I'm like, well, I can't control the menu, but in-game feels great. Specifically, I'm gonna go over how mechanics have changed from Smash or from Rivals 1. Today we're gonna focus on game engine level changes, not character specific. Like how shields work or how ledges work, because holy crap, Rivals didn't have those before. In a huge change for the entire genre, Get Up Attack, Ledge Get Up, and Pummel now all have special versions. These are unique options for each character to expand their kit in really cool ways. And they're not all offensive either. Some are focused on stage control, others might be defenses, others give you resources, and yeah, some hit harder or set you up for stronger punishes down the line. Each character can choose to use a normal or special versions of those moves. And there's some great risk-reward wrapped up in that. Special variations should massively increase the design space the Rivals team is able to work in, and I'm super excited to see how that goes in the future. Now for something a whole lot less flashy, shields. They exist now. Big thing to note about these shields existing, there's no shield pokes. And there's no shield tilting or waggling either because of that. Your shield does not shrink as you take hits, but you can see it take damage as it cracks and warps a bit. And if you take too many hits, you go into shield break, and this is done differently than I've seen in any other platform fighter. Instead of going into stun or into like a dizzy state, you actually fly into the air and you go into tumble. Once you pop into the air, as you float back down, you'll land onto either the stage or a platform if that's above you. Once you land, you can immediately tech in place, left, right, you could mistech, you could get up, but because of that, if you get a shield break on someone, it's not just a free charge, it's not just a free hit, but it is still a very, very juicy option. Other aspects of shield is shield dropping. Melee and PM fans out there should rejoice there is shield dropping in Rivals 2. If you're unfamiliar with those games, shield dropping is a tech that lets you drop through a platform faster and be actionable quicker. It's most often used to block a hit and then a counterattack, though sometimes it's just used purely for the movement option. And just like in those games, you can either shield drop just by angling or by buffering it while you're in shield stun. No worries about hitting the tight angles though, because it's a little bit more lenient in this game. Or you can use the brand new input that's been introduced into this game, which is by pushing down after you let go of the shield. It sounds like I'm joking, it's not. If you let go of the shield and then push down while you're still in the animation of the shield going away, you drop through immediately. This is faster than a regular platform drop, you're actionable, it's all the same things as a shield drop, but, you know, without having to use a specific angle or hoping your controller works well enough or anything like that. So Melee heads, you still can use all your same muscle memory. People that are brand new to learning the game, probably just use the easier way. I know shield dropping sounds intense, because in Melee and in PM, it's known as this like high level, big brain technique. You'll be able to get to that more creative, nuanced gameplay without grinding out hundreds of hours trying to do one tech. Back to standard shield stuff though, you can still jump out of shield, like in most games, and because you can jump out of shield, that brings you to everything else you can do, like jump canceling. So you can jump cancel into Strongs, which is the Rivals universe name for smash attacks, because Nintendo. Or you can cancel it into an air dodge, which means you can wave dash, or a lot of characters have more specific things that they can cancel their jump animation into. Only semi-related, but in addition to shields, there are still parries from Rivals 1, which you can either bind to a macro or by shielding and then pressing B. And there's spot dodges, so mix it up. There's a time and a place for each of these defensive options. Just because there's shields doesn't mean you only should use shields. Just because there's spot dodges or parrying doesn't mean you should only do those either. There's big pros and cons for each of them. Grabs! I never thought I would need to talk about grabs this much in a game, because Rivals 1 doesn't have them, and they really function super similarly in every other platform fighter, except Rivals 2, in a really cool way, actually. Rivals 2 is doing a ton of really new, unique stuff with this age-old mechanic.
All of this! Oh my goodness!
Not the pollen puff, man.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to hit this from the top because there are a bunch of things in this section. As alluded to earlier, jump cancels. You can do jump cancel grabs. That means you can run, cancel the run with a jump input, and then cancel the jump input while you're in the jump squat animation by inputting grab. Effectively, you're just doing your character's standing grab animation out of a run instead of doing the dash grab animation. Because in a lot of games, standing grab is going to be a little bit faster than doing your dash grab, usually at the cost of the dash grab having a longer range. But this varies from character to character. Other thing to note, if two people grab at the same time, there's a throw tech animation and then you reset to neutral. There's no port priority nonsense going on here. And now, say you've landed the grab, yet more has changed, so let's go over all of that next. From landing a grab, you have 3 options. Kind of. You have normal pummels, special pummels, and then actually throwing. I'm considering throws as just one option for this, but since you do have all 4 directions, I guess you can be pedantic if you'd like. Typically, normal pummels just do damage, while special pummels give some sort of additional bonus, like setting someone on fire or giving them a plant front. Now, you cannot do more than 1 pummel per grab. It doesn't loop, you just get 1 and then you're on a timer. If the person being grabbed guesses which pummel you're going to do, they automatically break out, which means every pummel is a 50-50. And this leads to really cool mix-ups, player habits, or character strengths, or resource management, because knowing what the person really wants or needs in that situation can turn that 50-50 into a much more educated read. There are reasons, other than just the added damage, of why you would want to go for the normal pummel, and I'm about to get into that here. Once grabs were announced, some people immediately started panicking about chain grabs, which I get it. You've been up thrown by Marth a couple of times, you might have some PTSD. And I am happy to announce that chain grabs are totally gone. Kind of. If you grab someone, you'll notice a brownish yellow hue overlaid on the character. This indicates that their chain grab lockout is in effect. Yes, Rivals 2 has straight up a chain grab lockout state. This chain grab lockout state goes away once they're out of hit stun. So you could only re-grab someone that's in hit stun if you've already hit them with another move in a combo or something like that. Or if you hit them with a normal pummel. Special pummels might have all their own bonus states. Hitting someone with a normal pummel removes the chain grab lockout, which is huge because there are some throws that clearly look like they're set up to lead to chain grabs. And guess what? If you hit someone with the mix-up, oh, I think he's gonna try to set me on fire. Nope, joke's on you. I'm just gonna normal pummel, do a chain grab, and then go into something else. That's huge. That's so much damage that you've just gotten for free. So it's not just, oh, I'm always gonna guess special pummel, because why not? There are huge reasons to go for either one. As a quick note, the chain grab lockout does not apply to command grabs like Krag's grab or presumably Clarin, because we are assuming she's in the game and assuming she has her grab back.
It's like a dry clap. It just fully passed.
Also, as you may have guessed based on how the pummel works, mashing does not exist. You do not get out of grabs faster by mashing, it is purely on a timer. In fact, There's no mashing anywhere in Rivals 2. There's no mashing anywhere in Rivals 1. That is a core fundamental philosophy that the game design was based on. It is all predeterminate or by holding the button, not by mashing it. It's time to talk about air dodging. In Rivals 2, you can air dodge in place or directionally once per air time. This includes if you get hit. You don't get the air dodge back afterwards. You use it, you lose it. This also includes things like after a wall jump, which I'm gonna get to.
Die, please.
I can't do any moves though, I'm just in hit stun.
Please. Please. Oh no!
Shoot, I was trying to cheese you.
Respect.
As for the properties of air dodging, you can act afterwards, like in Ultimate or Rivals 1. You don't go into Special Fall like you do in Melee or PM. After air dodging, there is more recovery time than there was in Rivals 1, but it's not as long as in Ult, where an air dodge off stage is just a death wish. So you're going to be able to air dodge through things and potentially recover that way, but you're not going to be able to air dodge through and counter hit quite as often as you did in Rivals 1. So your mileage may vary, as should your recovery. Kind of related, but not really. Pressing taunt in the air makes your character go into tumble. In addition to just being really funny, since you can access your special getup and getup attack this way, it's actually pretty useful, especially with certain characters. And since we just went over air dodging, we should talk about wave dashing. It is easier and more fluid than in Melee. Same as in Rivals 1, you can air dodge at any point in your jump spot, which includes if you hit jump and air dodge on the exact same frame. This means you have way more leniency in your wave dash timing without leaving the ground. Also returning from Rivals 1 is horizontal wave dashing. When you're wave dashing or wave landing, you can just hold perfectly horizontal and get the maximum length. No worrying about air dodging right above the stage because you slightly missed the angle. And if there's wave dashes and wave lands and ledges, there must be ledge dashes. I know I literally just teach ledge dashes, but let's go over the basics of the ledge itself first before I move into that, because there weren't any ledges in Rivals 1 at all. And ledges are very different from platform fighter to platform fighter. It's not like how shielding is roughly the same in most of them. Almost every game handles ledges totally differently. So here's the cliff notes. You only get invincibility for the first 2 times you grab a ledge without landing back on the stage. This is to prevent things like planking or stalling, while still giving some help to the recovering player. While holding the ledge, you have a few options, and these are ledge getup, roll, getup attack, special getup attack, let go or drop, and then anything you can do from that airborne state, like ledge dashing, where you drop from the ledge, immediately jump, and then wave land onto the stage. And if you do mess up your ledge dash, you don't die instantly like you do in Melee. You re-grab the ledge afterwards out of your air dodge animation, so it's not an instant stock loss. For the nerds out there, you have enough invincibility to get on the stage with a ledge dash, but not to attack invincibly. There's no gallant here. Gallant being the fancy term that started from Melee for frames where you do things invincibly. And finally, jump or tourney winner. Now, tourney winner is just the community colloquial name for jump from ledge. It was named that ironically because starting in Melee, if you jump from ledge, you are stuck in that animation for a while actually, and it's super easy to punish someone after that. But some other games decided that you can act out of the tourney winner or jump animation, like PM and now Rivals. Because you can act out of tourney winner, unlike in Melee, that means you can ledge dash, do an aerial, wave land onto the platform, or even do a lot of fun character-specific shenanigans out of this. In fact, this is how I suggest learning the ledge dash, not the Melee method where you drop first. I have a feeling that being able to act out of tourney winner might become the most important factor of the ledge as Rivals 2 progresses, but that's just a gut feeling. Oh, and there's ledge hogging, similar to most Melee-inspired platform fighters. Now that we're done going over the ledges, let's look just a little bit lower. Walls. In Rivals 1, wall jumps were critical to playing off stage. Now that the game has ledges though, there are some major changes in how wall jumps work in an effort to balance the game around it a bit more. And this is likely where people from Rivals 1 are going to have some muscle memory issues as they're relearning a new game. Just like in the original, every single character has a wall jump. I know this doesn't seem like a big deal, but trust me, in other games, having a wall jump is one of the core things that could make you a top tier. To input a wall jump, you're going to hold into the wall and press the jump button. This is using the input method that's the most similar to like any modern 2D platformer. It's not the same as in Melee. Might throw some people off, but trust me, this feels way more natural. And here's the big change. You cannot wall jump out of specials with vertical mobility. This is typically up specials. In Rivals 1, you would often see people up special, wall jump, and then up special again to recover. You can't do that anymore. It's just special moves that launch your character upwards. So like, Rano can still slingshot into the wall with side B, wall jump, and then up B from there. But you're not going up special, wall jump, up special like in Rivals 1. You can even wall jump right up to the ledge for that sweet, sweet invincibility. The crown jewel mechanic of Rivals has returned, hit falling. If you are totally new to Rivals, you probably haven't heard of this one. In Rivals, you can buffer a fast fall while you're in the hit lag of landing an attack. Specifically your aerials, not your specials. This lets you land super quickly and follow it up. To input this, you literally just push down on the control stick while you're in hitbox. That's it. If you're familiar with Melee or PM, the utility of this is similar to shuffling. It's a way to speed up the game on combos. Since you can only hitfall on hit, it has a built-in equalizer to prevent speed from just getting wildly out of control in neutral. I made an entire video about why hitfalling is so cool that you should check out after you finish this one up. It's not going to teach you how to hitfall, but it will go over uses and like why the rival scene thinks this is the dopest thing in the game. Critically, in Rivals 2, there is one big change, or I guess nuance, to hitfalling. Landing an attack on someone's shield does not let you buffer the fast fall. So this means that release valve that I mentioned, where it doesn't overwhelm neutral, still exists, because you can't just hit fall all over someone's shield. You still have to make contact and get a hit that you can actually follow up with in order to use hit falling. You can't just spam attacks and expect to land something without getting punished. Spacing and timing still matter. But once you get that hit, feel free to go nuts.
Hey, Jack, can you clip that? Oh my god!
Do not clip it, guys. Guys, don't clip it. Guys, don't clip it.
Oh my god!
Guys, don't clip it. Guys, please.
Holy guacamole!
I need this.
Movement. Dear God, does this game have movement? Okay, so if the theme of this is Rivals 2 for Smashers, let's go over movement tech from Smash games that's in Rivals. So Rivals has dash dancing, wave dashing, moonwalking, B-reversing, wave bouncing, reverse aerial rush, needle boosting, but we did it first, Dacus, Gatlings, and so much more. If there is a game-wide movement mechanic in any Smash title, it's a safe bet that it's also in Rivals as well. Obviously not 100% of them, but it's a very good likelihood. And there's a ton of Rivals-specific movement options as well, like tilt boosting, baby dashing, or pity flips. But this is Rivals 2 for Smashers, or at least Rivals 1 mechanics that haven't changed in a fundamental way. I can't just name every single thing you can do in this game. I cannot make this a 4-hour video.
That's gonna catch so many people early on when this game comes out. And I already knew I was gonna be like the main thing I was gonna fuck up a bunch.
Oh shit! What the fuck was that? And with that, we've gone over all the general major changes coming in Rivals 2 as we are getting ready for the beta to come out. I mentioned this at the top, but I expect characters to change a lot more than base mechanics. And like I mentioned, I did make a video about hitfalling and why it is sick as fuck, and you can check that out right here. If you want to hear my general opinions on the game after playing the alpha, I've also got a video on that too. For the people who have said that they want to be able to support me a little bit more directly, I have channel memberships now, which operate similar to Twitch subs or Patreon, where you're able to support me directly in return for being able to see some behind the scenes stuff like cut thumbnails or video scripts or even just my thoughts after making a video. It means the world to me. Obviously no pressure. Go do you. See y'all later.